All right, let's talk about a technology that isn't just, changing the game. It's literally creating entirely new ones. I'm talking, of course, about generative AI. This is a force that is completely reshaping everything from how we make art to how we do science. So forget about AI that just calculates things or analyzes data. That's old news. What if a machine could imagine? Seriously, what if it could create and invent something totally new all by itself? That is the wild, incredible promise that we're going to dive into today. Okay, so first things first. Before we get into the wild implications, we've got to get a handle on what this stuff actually is. What is it and what can it really do? Here's a good way to think about it. Traditional AI, it's kind of like an art critic. It is absolutely brilliant at looking at art that's already out there, analyzing it, classifying it. But generative AI, well, that's the artist. It's not just analyzing. It's learning the deep down patterns from like millions of examples to create something completely new, something original. And the scope of what it can create, it's just staggering. We're not just talking about the arts, writing poetry or making these incredible images or composing music. No, it's also completely changing science and engineering. I mean, we're talking designing new products, discovering brand new molecules for life-saving drugs. The range is it's enormous. Okay, so that's the what. But how in the world does it actually work? Now, this stuff can sound super complex, but trust me, we can break down the basics pretty simply. So, let's go ahead and peek under the hood. So all the magic really happens inside what are called generative models. Think of these as the engines that are driving this whole thing. Imagine you feed an algorithm, I don't know, every single painting ever made. It's not just going to memorize them. That's the key. It's going to learn the rules of art itself. We're talking color theory, brushstrokes, composition. It learns it so well that it can then create a brand new painting that looks like it could hang in a museum. And these models, they have different ways of getting creative. For instance, you've got GANs. Okay, this is a cool analogy. Think of a master art forger battling it out with a brilliant detective. The forger keeps making fakes, and the detective keeps trying to spot them. They go back and forth until the fakes are so good they're basically indistinguishable from the real deal. Then you have models like transformers. These are the rock stars, the engines behind the tools we all know, like ChatGPT. And this right here is why models like GPT and DALL-E are such a massive deal. They've totally revolutionized the field. Their secret weapon? It's a concept called self-attention. Basically, it lets them look at an entire sentence or even a paragraph and figure out which words are the most important to each other. It gets the context. And that deep understanding of context is exactly why what they create feels so coherent and, honestly, so human. So here we are with this incredibly powerful new capability. It's amazing. But you know how it goes. With any groundbreaking tech, there's always another side to the story. It's absolutely a double-edged sword, one that's packed with both unbelievable promise and some really significant peril. And this is really the core tension, isn't it? On the one hand, you've got this just explosion of creativity and innovation. But on the other hand, you're walking into a minefield of brand new problems. We're talking rampant misinformation, algorithms that are full of bias, and these huge, messy legal fights over who even owns the stuff the AI creates. A perfect and kind of scary example of this danger is the rise of deepfakes. You've probably heard of them. These are those hyper-realistic but totally fake images, videos, or even audio clips that are generated by an AI. And the threat here? It's profound. It really is. It boils down to this. The ability to create convincing fake content can erode trust in media and information sources. I mean, think about it. When literally anything can be faked, what can we actually believe? This whole situation forces us to ask a really tough, critical question. When an AI makes something harmful, who's on the hook? Who's responsible? Is it the person who used it? The company that built it? The truth is, we're in completely uncharted legal territory here. And believe me, that's just the tip of the iceberg. All of a sudden, we're asking questions that we literally wouldn't have even thought of a few years back, like copyright. If an AI makes a masterpiece, who owns it? The user? The developer? The AI itself? And what about bias? If a model learns from the internet, and let's be honest, the internet has some issues, how do we stop it from learning our worst habits? And don't even get me started on the personal data used to train these things. It's just a whole new world of very, very tricky questions. So, Okay, we've got this complex landscape, right? On one side, incredible potential. On the other, really serious risks. The big question is, where do we go from here? So for our final section, let's take a look at the road ahead for generative AI. Okay, so right now, today, we're seeing this massive boom in personalization and automating content. But what's coming next? In the near future, the really big trend is going to be what they call multimodal models. Think of a single AI that can understand and create text, images, and audio all at the same time. Pretty wild. But long term, the real hard work is going to be building the guardrails, the ethical frameworks and the governance we need to steer this whole thing in a responsible direction. When you boil it all down, we have to see this technology for what it really is. It's not just another tool like a hammer or a spreadsheet. No, it's something different. It's like a new creative partner. And it's one with the genuine power to reshape entire industries and, yeah, society itself. And so, all of this, it leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? As this technology continues to weave itself deeper and deeper into our lives, is it going to enhance our own human creativity? Or is it maybe going to replace it? That's the big one to think about.